Hey guys, welcome back to The Difference. Chris Christie is slamming Gavin Newsom over the fire response there in California. In this video, we are going to expose the enormous failure that is happening there in California. Check out this clip.
Governor Chris Christie, welcome back.
Good to be back. Happy New Year, Brian.
Governor, one of your great qualities is how well you act in the clutch. When Sandy hit, people saw the results. You were hands-on. If things went wrong, you were sitting right there. You saw it. You demanded accountability. It's one of the things I'm not seeing from California. And I know you know Gavin Newsom. And I've never seen anything like it. He basically says, yeah, that's pretty bad. I got to find out what happened, as if he's not the governor of the state.
Wow.
It's an enormous failure, Brian, and an enormous disappointment for the people of California, and now a tragedy for all those families that have been affected. And when you're the governor of a state and a natural disaster happens, there is no one more accountable than you. There can be no one who the public is relying upon more than you. And you can't sit there and say, geez, what about, I don't know, let me find out. You have to be on top of it right from the beginning. These fires started. We knew they were coming. We knew they were expanding. And for him not to know and to go in there and take charge. I mean, look, when Sandy happened, we had problems from all different types of municipalities that were affected. We took it over. We managed the crisis, and that's what a governor is expected to do. Yep. And his failure to do that, but more importantly, his failure to communicate with his people and let them know what's going on, what can be done, what will be done. These are people without homes, are now sitting looking for a place to live. This is just what happened in Sandy. We got people places to live. We did what we needed to do. He's not doing it, and he's going to be judged very harshly for it.
Yeah, but not him. He's going to judge other people. He's doing an independent investigation. Listen to this question and the answer. Cut 17.
Ultimately here, does the buck stop with you?
I mean, you're governor of California. You might as well be the mayor of California. We're all in this together. We're all better off. We're all better off. We're all better off. And we're working together to take care of people and to make sure people are supported. We're empathetic. And we're here not just in the immediacy of the crisis, but we're here after the crisis, as opposed to creating a crisis in the middle of this by trying to divide people and play political.
So can you help me with this? I'm bad at comprehension. Does the buck stop with him? What did he say?
It's a complete word salad because he's trying to avoid responsibility and accountability. And Let me tell you, if you want to avoid responsibility and accountability, don't run for governor. Being governor is all about responsibility and accountability. And he avoided it. He was kind of sideways blaming the mayor. He was also taking a shot at President-elect Trump. This is not the time to play partisan politics. You know, the fact of the matter is, Gavin Newsom is going to need President-elect Trump in 7 days and in the days to follow to help the people that he represents recover from this crisis. And taking political shots at Donald Trump is not the thing to be doing at this point as a responsible governor. No matter how Gavin Newsom feels about Donald Trump, that doesn't matter. The American people have elected Donald Trump to be the president, and it's your obligation as the governor to work in good faith with him, not to take political shots at him. So that is a complete lack of accountability and credibility, and quite frankly, Governor Newsom should be ashamed of himself.
So, Governor, before I knew you in 1992, I was out in California, and I was just living in a one-room apartment, and it burned to the ground. Lost everything, but I had nothing. I had no family, wasn't married. And it was fascinating because I saw the whole process, and we had no cell phones. There were no cell phones, period. So 92. So you had to run around, you got to meet people at central locations, you had to find out what you were eligible for, then you had to see what discounts you could get at the Gap or Sears were offering, and you literally were trying to rebound and find out where to go, and you need people on the same page. And we were able to communicate, it's hard to believe, effectively, but there was organization. I never felt like it was unorganized as everything burned to the ground and it stayed like that for about 10, 15 years. It is so important right now to let people know they get $44,000, to let people know what you could put towards, if you live paycheck to paycheck, and all of a sudden someone says, I need first and last for you to stay there for 6 months, where's that money coming from? You must have dealt with that. How did you get the information to all these people in these dire circumstances?
Hey guys, before Christie answers this question, I just want to stop and say here that there's two words that are coming to my mind right now as I'm listening to this, and that is incompetence and mismanagement. Billions, guys. Dude, it makes me upset when I think about it. Billions of taxpayer dollars have been spent, and yet wildfire prevention remains inadequate in the state of California. And what that means to me is that we have seen failed leadership in prioritizing critical infrastructure for fire response. It's absolutely insane. When we start to dig into this and start to reveal all the details, I think it's going to blow your mind. Federal funds for wildlife management have been misused, underutilized. California has maybe more money coming in from the federal government than almost any state, guys. And yet they're squandering it. They're throwing it away on crazy leftist political ideology. But hey, guys, before I resume this clip, I want to say thank you for watching so far. Don't be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, guys. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm, so I appreciate everybody. Appreciate all the support, all the love. All right, guys, check out Chris Christie's response to this.
Every day, Brian, we did 3 press events a day. Some from our emergency operations center in Trenton, but 2 a day on the ground in a place that had been affected so that people could hear from us directly in those local communities. We would bring FEMA representatives with us to those events, HUD representatives with us to those events, and representatives of the state government. And then we would set up tables right at that event in those communities with those people sitting there so that citizens could come and ask questions and get help right then. That's being responsible and accountable for making sure that people know what they're entitled to get in this moment of crisis and getting it to them. We went to them. We went to the affected communities and not only communicated all this information 3 times a day, but also sat there in those communities on the ground, boots on the ground, to answer those questions face to face. Because sometimes people don't want to get on a telephone. They want to see a face. And in our administration, the Christie administration, were folks who, were very much in touch with the folks that we represented. We would be there to give them a hug, to let them know that we cared about them and help them.
Yeah, the other thing was I lost everything in Sandy. We got 3 feet of water too. So I'm a walking catastrophe. But then with a family, yeah, I know I'm bad luck. Please make sure we don't hang out again. But I remember there were central locations where we knew where to go. Also, the SBA loans. People are like, hey, I have money. Well, an SBA loan, which is above interest, which is below the interest rate, might be something your family wants to do because maybe you got to get ahead.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, look, people are going to need cash to be able to get a new place to live temporarily. They're going to need cash to be able to replace things like beds, clothes, electronic equipment they need to communicate, all the things that they lost that are functional, not to mention, Brian, the heartbreaking. I went through this. We lost everything in a flood back in the late 90s. And it's heartbreaking. The photo albums, the memories that you lose, the videos of our children, those are things that can't be replaced. So what government needs to do is to step up to the plate and be there to give them the cash they need to replace the things that are replaceable. And Governor Newsom has failed, and Mayor Bass, quite frankly, looks like she doesn't know what's going on either. I mean, and what people need more than anything else, and I will tell you, up until today, and Sandy is now 12 years ago, I have people who come up to me in New Jersey and say, thank you for making us feel safe after Sandy. It's about how you make people feel. Is government there to do what they need to do, protect and serve the public? And
the other thing is, too, is that as somebody who's, if you're leading your family or if you're in charge, after like that moment where you're like sad and upset, okay, now you need a plan. And that's how you should be thinking. Yep. I got to get through this day. I got to get the kids back in school. I got to get back to work. How do I get this money? What are we going to stay? Is this hotel going to kick me out? Gavin Newsom was asked about the mayor. Tell me if this is a vote of confidence. Cut 18.
Do you have faith in Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass?
I have absolute faith in our community. I have faith in our leaders. I have the faith of our capacity to work together.
Does he ever answer a question? Read between the lines there.
You know what that means? Don't let the door hit you in the rear end on the way out. There's already, from what I understand, over 90,000 people who have signed an online petition to recall the mayor. My guess is that Gavin Newsom has his finger up in the air, feeling for the political winds, and sees they're blowing against Karen Bass. And since this is a guy who all he wants to do is run for president of the United States, Brian, that's all he's worried about at the moment. What he should be worried about is doing his damn job. And if you do your job well, people reward you. And if you don't do it well, they don't. And by the way, if you do your job well and you accept accountability and responsibility, people will understand that you can't fix every problem like that. But you've got to be showing them that you're working hard and you're willing to take that responsibility. And with answers like that, Brian, you're exactly right. This is a guys who won't answer questions are guys who know the answers aren't good ones and they don't want to give them.
So the fire chief has really separated herself from the mayor. And because she got her budget cut. And this is a microcosm of where this country's at. We don't want to give all our money to illegal immigrants. We don't want to give it to DEI directors to make $350,000 to tell us how racist we are. We're done with that. And they guess who they're underfunding? The fire department. Listen to Kristen Crowley on KTTV, Cut 20.
Did they fail you? That is our job. And I tell you, that's why I'm here. So let's get us what we need so our firefighters can do their jobs. Did they fail you? Yes. When a firefighter comes up to a hydrant, we expect there's going to be water. We don't control the water supply. Our firefighters are there to protect lives and property and to make sure that we're properly trained and equipped.
And when they...
Wow, guys. Okay, don't miss that, right? These communities are prone to wildfires, okay? They expect it. It's a dry area. You've got the Santa Ana winds, and these places are left unprotected despite these repeated disasters. Guys, this isn't just a failure. This is a repeated failure. We knew that this could happen. California knew this could happen. And instead of spending the money in the right places to build up the infrastructure to protect communities, they're wasting the money on crazy liberal ideologies. Policies focus on optics and climate rhetoric instead of actionable safety measures. And it's just insane to me that we're paying all of our tax money, all our tax dollars. In California, y'all are paying like out of your ears. And your leaders are throwing your money away. They're not putting it into infrastructure that's going to protect your home and your family. Instead, residents are having to face increased insurance costs. They're having to face property loss. And it's all because of government inaction. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video so far. I've got a little bit more I want to show you in this clip because it's really interesting here at the end. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. And subscribe for more videos like this. Bringing a new video, 1 to 2 videos every day, guys. So make sure you're subscribed so you're getting the latest news from that conservative viewpoint. All right, let's check it out.
Cut $17 million out of her budget. She spoke up at the time and said, are you kidding me? I can't do this. I need to double. There's a double amount of people since 2010, but you want less firefighters to do it. And what about in a time like this when you feel as though I got to make it clear? I told them about this.
Look, she's doing her job, right? There's a contrast in leadership, right? You listen to that fire chief, and at least on that particular issue, she made it very clear what she needed, and she didn't dodge the question. They asked, did you fail? Did they fail you? She said yes. I mean, that's what it's not a good answer to have to give, but it's the honest answer to give. And people deserve honesty and candor from their elected officials, not political gamesmanship, which is what they're getting from Governor Newsom and Mayor Bass right now. And so, look, they are going to have to figure out how all this happened and why, but that's for later. Right now, it's about taking care of the people whose lives have been destroyed. I was watching a TV segment yesterday, Brian, to see the 5 members of a family had 5 different homes in the same neighborhood. They're all gone.
Yep.
And you see those people standing over the rubble of their homes, and one of their sisters died in the fire.
Wow.
And they found her remains on the grounds there. I mean, the tragedies that these people are feeling right now, they need the government to be honest, direct, and lend a helping hand. They don't need them to be playing the political games that Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass are playing right now.
So what do you do when you're President Trump and you're president-elect? You're not the president yet. Would you go out there this week?
Look, I think that the president-elect, that's going to be his instinct, is going to be to go out there. The question is going to be, is it safe to go out there? I understand that there may be some more fires coming. And so I think they're going to consider whether he can be helpful in any way. I think one of the ways the president-elect could be really helpful is to have his designate for Homeland Security, Governor Newsom, who is obviously a governor who's dealt with crises in her particular state, and have, the members of his FEMA leadership be saying, here's what we're going to do starting on January 20th. And lend a beacon of hope out there. And whether he has to do that on the ground in California, or whether he could do it from Florida at Mar-a-Lago, or whether he could do it from Washington, I don't think it matters as much where he is, but that he tells people, here's the Trump plan. Starting on January 20th for how we're going to take this thing over. And if Gavin Newsom doesn't want to do the job as president of the United States, Donald Trump, I believe will say, I'll do it.
Governor, 20 seconds left. Do you think Trump should say, listen, there's strings attached. I want you taking that water from San Francisco. I want you to stop with, you got to start deforesting the forest and clean this place up.
I think that should be part of the Trump plan.
Okay.
He should be laying out, these are the things that need to be done. He almost has to come in and substitute for what is an absentee governor and an absentee mayor right now. And I think that's what he should do.
Governor Chris Christie, always great. Thanks so much for your expertise.
Okay, guys, and I think that's some great advice there for the Trump team. However, here's the main issue, and this is what just absolutely bugs me to death. It really makes me mad, and that is the crazy, insane environmental regulations that are blocking common sense actions from taking place there in California. It's those environmental regulations that are blocking the essential forest thinning and fire breaks that good managed forests put into place. And the permitting process delay these urgent fire prevention projects, and is absolutely crazy the amount of red tape. Controlled burns, that's something we do. I used to live in Texas, and that's something we did in Texas all the time, was controlled burns. And all of our managed forest land, guys, in fact, I would say all national land, all state land was managed. We did controlled burns, and it's a proven preventative measure. Guess what? It doesn't exist in California, not that I know of. But it's because it's hindered by all this excessive red tape that you're going to damage this species, or you're going to hurt this. Well, guess what? Now all the forests have burned down, all the plate. What happened to those species, right? Instead of a controlled burn, now you have a completely uncontrolled burn, and it's completely out of hand. It's leveling communities. Who knows the environmental damage that's taking place right now? But now they're not going to say anything about environmentalism now, right? Because they just had a massive environmental disaster. In fact, if they come around and try to paint this as a positive thing for the environment, I'm done. The amount of carbon that was released with these fires, the amount of species that may have been knocked out, wiped out, the amount of animal life, the amount of plant life, guys, the amount of destruction. If they come back and try to paint this as a positive environmental thing, crazy. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think Gavin Newsom's leadership has failed Californians in wildfire prevention and this response that we're seeing today? Let me know down in the comments. But also, guys, don't forget to like. It really helps out the channel. Appreciate all the likes. Or appreciate all the support. And don't forget to subscribe too, guys, for more videos like this. All right, guys, I will see y'all later with another video. Y'all take it easy and have a good day.